Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, on this episode, it's our Palm Springs Pride Edition with Pride performers TLC's T-Boz, dance queen Kristine W., Elizabeth Ziff, hot off a plane from New York from Betty, DJ Michael Paul from LE Party's Pool Fest, and my guest co-host, everyone's favorite hot mess, anti-Christian model Nick Masc, host of GED's Love Boat, and me, your favorite host with the deepest voice. So raise a glass and let the drinks begin.
Banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, coming at you live, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Lord help us, there's a lot of pride in this room. Buttons and bows and pantyhose, On the Rocks podcast, the place where we're too glam to give a damn. Today is ridiculously packed full of talent, all in celebration of Palm Springs Pride, happening November 1st through the 3rd, rated the 5th best Pride in the world. Also, it's free. What? Yes, it is free. On the Rocks will be on the scene. I am honored to serve as Pride's first ever media grand marshal. I'll be introducing the headliners, hosting some of the parties, and appearing in the parade with a sash. I'm so sashy. Okay.
Yeah. Don't feed it.
Go to palmspringspride.org for full schedules. Download the app. Set your favors to stunning and engage. The Pride magazine is out, by the way. Oh, meet your Grand Marshal. Blah, blah. Yes. All right. Thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We love you, too. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. But if you are drinking, the official vodka of On the Rocks is Equality Vodka. 20% from every bottle sold helps nonprofits that work to secure equality for everyone. Visit them at equalityvodka.com and social media. You guys, real fast, get your Halloween costumes together. I have been seeing pictures from parties. Put some effort into it. Be naked with a pair of ears.
Isn't that less
and a
effort,
harness
though?
And a harness.
Less effort.
No.
Less effort is more
No,
naked.
I believe your Halloween costume is you going to the gym every day. That's what you're preparing for.
That's
the
your
whole
birthday
time.
suit.
Okay, but there's no.
I wear it everywhere.
There's no. If you want to see some creativity, look at a curvy girl's costume, because we got to put some effort in our costumes. It's got to look like something.
I love how you said we.
Okay, anyway, the show is brought to you by Straw Hut Media and Here TV. You can watch and listen to every one of our now 193rd episodes at ontherocksradioshow.com for free. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Roku. I'm excited to announce we are on Pandora's new podcast platform, and you can watch us on YouTube, Here TV, and of course we are on the Facebook pages of Trendy Now in San Diego, GED Magazine, I Love Gay LGBT, and of course on the Rocks Radio Show, and we're also streaming on Palm Springs Pride Facebook. Hello, Palm Springs Pride. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Send me an email, book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will show up. Info at ontherocksradioshow.com. Please take a moment to subscribe and like all of our stuff. We will follow you back into your home, into your kitchen, into your bedroom.
Sounds like a horror story.
Yeah, we're tipsy stalkers. Horror.
Okay.
One of my friends said I'm saying horror wrong because I would say horror, and they're like, no, it sounds like you're saying horror. So I'm supposed to say horror.
Horror.
And now I'm self-conscious about it, like horror.
Yeah.
You should be.
And those are our problems in this world today. I'm self-conscious about it.
Horror. Speaking of horror, before Pride begins, Thursday, if you are in Palm Springs, join me, LGBT celebrity Jay Rodriguez, American Idol's Michaela Gordon, and Grammy Award winner Evelyn Champagne King for Hawker Productions event Halloween Palm Springs, starting at 4 p.m. on Arenas Road. There's costume contests, live performances, celebrity sightings, and me. It's free, but there is a VIP section with an open bar. You are going to lose your money, my friends, because I will shut that bar down. Also, we're going to be talking about all the events happening during Pride, but Trina Turk is having a kickoff on Friday night. On the Rocks is a co-host at Trina Turk in Palm Springs with Bravo TV's Craig Ramsey and Brandon Liberati. Let me introduce my co-host tonight before he passes out from the vodka. Nick Masc is a leading international underwear model and anti-Christian. In his short time since hitting the modeling scene, his social media audience has grown very quickly. the audience has grown as quickly as your eyebrows have shrunk, by the way. When you first hit the scene, it was like two caterpillars fighting for like a room.
Oh yeah. Now it's two twinks like trying to get away from each other but not be attracted to each other. So.
Oh, I wonder who that reminds me of.
Don't look at me, man.
Oh, I'm looking at you,
Try
girl.
again.
It's on, it's off,
Yo,
it's
I'm
on,
a
it's
twunk.
off.
That's a new thing. I'm a twunk.
you're
It's like a
twunk.
hybrid.
A twunk. Who would have thunk? Anyway, you can check out his Not Safe for Work Instagram stories if you want a heart attack. Already this year, Nick has been featured on the covers of GED, Grab Magazine, features in magazines like Huff, Cybersocket, and GNI. He can also be seen wandering into your TV screen with random guest features on MTV's X on the Beach Season 2, Bravo's Real Housewives of Dallas, Lifetime's Dance Moms. He also makes appearances around the world, literally around the world, and will play host at GED Magazine's Love Boat Pool Party at the Via Hotel Saturday, November 2nd, with me as first officer. I actually have a sailor outfit for it, by the way.
I know, I heard.
And I had it tailored and everything. It's going to be sexy. Please welcome back Nick Masc.
Yay!
You like how I cheered for myself.
All right, just a quick catch up. So, little birdie told me, actually Instagram told me, you're filming a new reality show?
Yeah, totally. Actually, we just started, we're in production of filming a show called Men of West Hollywood. And it's like a couple of like normal people that you see out in West Hollywood.
Normal
Social-
people, yes.
people.
Okay, normal people.
Okay, the ones that you see at the bar passing out at 2 a.m.
2 p.m. might be right.
2 p.m. on Sundays. On Sundays.
That's true. 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
It's basically the show is filming behind socialites' lives in the West Hollywood, area, and it's both gay and straight, and it's just showing the
Well,
fluidity.
David Barta, I don't know about him.
Well, you know what? That's mine, so don't touch it. Anyway.
He's done the show many times, girl.
Okay, cool. Just because he did it doesn't mean he wants to have it again.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, 3 times, bish.
Oh, girl. It only takes one time with me.
What are we talking
Anyway.
And then they're done?
Back to the
And
show.
then they're done, is what you just said.
Back to the show.
Maurice Swampy?
Anyway, it's basically about fluidity and working with, that there's gay and straights and they're all living in a community and we're all working together for, a common purpose.
What I love is that we're actually seeing you working. It's not like we're just seeing you at brunch doing the stuff.
Yeah.
We're actually seeing you working towards your craft, what it means to be an influencer, also the businesses that you guys have. You guys can't just be influencers anymore. You have to have a business mindset now.
For sure. No, especially since, there's so much, Instagram issues and Facebook changes recently that we've all kind of like, you've got to go, how can you influence people without just pictures? How can you influence them without your work, what you've seen, what you've done, what you want to achieve, and who you can influence actually in the real world rather than just on social media?
Sure.
All right, we have to get this out of the air because I got so many emails about it. We know that you've had an on-off relationship with Mr. Maurice Swanby, who has been on the show, also a co-model. On-off. What gives? Besides you.
What gives?
Well, besides you.
Okay. Well, it's just fun asking questions I haven't been able to answer myself. So it's kind of like a smorgasbord of answers here. I'm going to give you a couple of them.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm hoping to know, and I will soon know.
What are you waiting around for?
I'm not waiting around. I think this show really made us relive, our relationship and now our breakup and
like X on the Beach? You already did that.
No, that was reliving PTSD. No, this one is more of like now we're working together and we're not together, and it's basically us just like trying to find where we can live in the same community while at the same time be friends and not have to do you pick this side or you pick this side. No, the whole idea is that we are trying to come together and just say, let's be friends so we don't have to make that awkward Red Sea split apart of our friends and this is my place on Fridays, this is your place on Thursdays.
So basically, you're lesbians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but we haven't moved in yet.
And there's no Home Depot
You moved
involved.
in right away, and now you're best friends because you broke up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the basic. It's a reverse. I think
called
sex is
adulting.
more
You're
of
being
an
an adult.
icebreaker than it is more of a like, let's work towards it, Once you're in somebody or they're in you, you kind of know everything about it.
But it seems like you're just kind of waiting for him to call the shots, and I'm not cool with that at all.
At this point, I think I said recently to working with him so much, I think I've learned a lot. He's helped me learn a lot.
Good.
And that's basically me saying, hey, it's time not to be a sheep and it's time to be more of a shepherd. And I lost that when I came to LA,
Or a wolf.
honestly. Well, I'll be anything, honestly.
Or a bear.
Anything
Or an
with
otter.
teeth, I'm down with. But anyway, when you move from Florida and you're like, okay, this is you, this is yourself, and you move to LA, it changes you, and it changes you into a person that just wants to fit in because that's a less dramatic thing. And I think throughout the last couple of weeks, I've learned that, it's easier actually for me to be myself and let people follow that than me trying to fake be something just because I'm in an LA scene, just because everyone wants to be this or this. And the turnout is like, when you separate yourself from that, you're happier when you wake up than whenever you go to bed if you stay in that lifestyle.
People see that too on Instagram, which is why people follow people. Because if you're being real, it's organic. They see it. They notice it. If you're being
relatable
fake,
is what I like to call it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. So, and I think, everyone's trying to figure out themselves as life goes on. And so I don't think it's fair to give someone like, you have to make a decision now. You're still kind of figuring things out, right? So
you don't want to alienate each other from each other or from yourself.
It's a small world. We all gotta play.
We all gotta play.
Let's use the phrase of it's a small gay world. Okay, it's just I tell everybody this is a small gay world. It's just a different party with a different harness.
Yeah.
Well, I love that you're becoming. That sounds very adult to me, and I think we should all be striving for that. All right, you're hosting GED Love Boat on Saturday for Pride at the V. What can we expect?
Well, first of all, you can expect it to be wild as fuck because Brandon Wild's spinning, motherfucker. Yo! Pew, pew, pew.
So
Did he just air horn?
Yeah, he did.
Air fucking horn. I'm an air horny person, okay? I love having it let out, okay? Continue.
All right, so it's just going to be like a bunch of fun. What are your duties as a host?
Okay, so I also hosted a Long Beach pool party,
Yes.
which you were, and for GED magazine. Love the magazine. Was on the cover of their magazine. I love it's a dictionary for gay people. What
And
can you
look for
expect
my
from it?
monthly celebrity interviews, by the way. I want to do an interview with Betty.
Oh, there it is.
He found it. He found it.
Anyway, my job as a host basically is to get the crowd pumping, get everyone moving, having a great time. So basically being, I guess, a life of a party.
You're like the bar mitzvah leader.
I'm like literally, welcome to my quinceañera.
It is a high holiday.
That's what I look like too. Welcome to my quinceañera.
You can't even say it, bitch.
I can say it. Well, okay.
Yes, it's a bar
As
mitzvah.
I put a Valley girl, I can say it.
It's a high holiday. Hi.
Yeah, no,
Hi.
just get everyone pumped up, and it's Palm Springs Pride. It's time to celebrate community. Let's fuck it up.
Yes. So one of the headliners, which I have the wonderful duty to introduce, is of course TLC, and we have T-Boz will be joining us. Kurt, get that prepped up. Let me just reintroduce TLC to those that who've been living in Iraq. One of the greatest legacies in music history can summed up. Oh, I don't need to hear that music, but okay. By just 3 letters, TLC. They merely hint at the talent of T-Boz Watkins, Rosanda Chili Thomas, and the late Lisa Left Eye Lopez, but they immediately evoke an unparalleled journey nonetheless. Journey encompasses immortal anthems such as Waterfalls, Creep, No Scrubs, and Unpretty, just to name a few, as well as sales of 70 million records worldwide, 4 Grammy Awards, 2 Diamond Certified albums, among 4 multi-platinum albums, top 10 singles, 4 number 1 singles. Meanwhile, the VH1 original film Crazy Sexy Cool, the TLC story, chronicled their rise and broke records as the highest-rated television film premiere of 2013 and the highest-rated original premiere on the network between consistent touring. Given the legacy behind this timeless moniker, it's fitting the undisputed best-selling American girl group of all time chose the name TLC for their 5th and first album in 15 years. Countless fans literally demanded a new TLC album in 2015, and fans worldwide, including Katy Perry, New Kids on the Block, Donnie Wahlberg, Bette Midler, enthusiastically contribute to this next chapter, raising over $400,000. It became the fastest and most funded pop project in Kickstarter history. And at the end of the day, it's TLC through and through, and there's nothing more crazy, sexy, cool than that. Girl, is T-Boz on the phone?
Yes, I am, and wow, that was amazing.
It was one breath. One breath.
One breath, girl. It is such an honor to talk to you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm good. I can't complain.
Well, everybody is so excited that you guys are coming out on Saturday. And girl, I'm going to be the one introducing you on stage. Whoop, whoop.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to cause some problems. So, so T-Boz, I got so many questions for you. I just have to know, all of the titles that come along with TLC, such as multi-platinum albums, diamond certification, best-selling American group, 100 greatest women in music according to VH1, 4 Grammy Awards, 5 MTV Video Awards, 5 Soul Train Music Awards, and the list goes on and on. To say that TLC is a legacy is an absolute truth. In looking back at the success, the place that you have in music and female empowerment history and all that you've been through, what thoughts come to you the most when you think of the very early days just starting out?
Well, first it's all a blessing, but man, you know when you're younger and you have a dream and nobody could tell me anything, like I just knew, in my head, but to do what we've done as big as we've done it, I could have never imagined in my wildest dreams. Like, I would talk junk, but I didn't really know if I was going to become number one. So to become the biggest girl Southern group of all time in America is like beyond anything I would have ever thought. I mean, I always wanted to strive to be the best I could be, but that's just like everything.
And all along, the group has maintained that it's an equal collaboration. No one was or is replaceable. The three of you each contributing to the creative process. And I think that's so important to talk about because we're in an age where we love to pick up on rumors and who's the real lead singer. And, we have people putting each other down. And so with all of, the ups and downs that come with having to work creatively together, there's still that respect for everybody's equal talent that's what made TLC TLC.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knew their role and their lane, so it's like 3 solo artists in a group, so it just made sense.
And your book, A Sick Life, is a very intimate, in-depth look at everything. Everything TLC, everything personal, some of the major losses that you've had, as well as your fight with sickle cell, which I think a lot of people don't know about the disease. And you've done a lot to shed light on the disease and your own personal journey through it, having to perform years and years through that sickness.
Yeah, I can't say it's been easy, but I mean, I was born this way, but funny thing about putting out my book too is I had never used to talk about my disease, but because I've superseded everything the doctor said I couldn't, he said I would die by the time I'm 30. I would never have kids and I'd be disabled my whole life. So seeing that didn't happen, and I never believed it would, because doctors practice medicine, I felt that I needed to share my story, especially when my cousin died and we had the same disease and I'm still here. And I'm like, Lord, why did I get through everything? And I just think I'm left here to help people and share my story and make a change or a difference as much as I can.
And that goes with your personal strength is also the strength of TLC. When I think of TLC, I think of tenacity, overcoming changes in the music industry, crappy record label deals, deaths, and dealing with personal successes and tribulations. What keeps you going through this the most? Where do you drive that personal strength from?
Well, I never push my beliefs on anybody, but I believe in God. But I also have the best mother ever. My mom is strong. And a real powerful woman. Like, it's funny, all the stuff that she instilled in me when I was younger. When I was at age 7, I always said I was going to be on TV. And she'd be like, yeah, sweetie. So I kept saying it, but then she looked at me one day, and she was like, as long as you keep your morals, integrity, and character intact and be the best at whatever you choose to do, I'll support you. And so I was like, okay, well, then that's what I'm doing, But her support was everything because I couldn't have done it without my mom.
Mama's kick-ass.
Oh, yeah, no, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really love that. You have been an inspiration for so many people. And I know, when Lisa left us, you didn't really get a chance to grieve properly from your fans, from fellow artists, and your own label. Now, looking back, what advice would you give for somebody dealing with absolute grief?
There's no proper way to tell anybody to grieve. But what I would say is grieve however it makes you feel better. Don't do things because that's what you think you're supposed to do or that's how you're supposed to do it according to someone else. I don't care if you have to sit outside and eat on and chew on lettuce every day. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Whatever makes you feel better about what you're going through, it's okay. It's okay. People, I think, put, so much pressure on people to do things the way they feel, or they project their fears onto you, or you're going to look like this. I don't care what nobody thinks about me. I don't care, how people feel about what I need to do to make me feel better if it's not affecting their life. It's my life, and if I'm not hurting anybody, leave me the hell alone. That's why I tell people about, like other artists who, may have issues and stuff like that, and you see them on TV, like some of our late great ones.
Yeah.
It's their life, so why are you so worried about it? Like, they're doing it to themselves. It'd be different if they were doing it to their kids or somebody else on the street. It's their life, and that's what they choose. So I'm just all for being who you really are and feeling how you feel and whatever makes you feel better. Because I say that because I made one decision in life that it cost me so much, because I did it only because of what people would have thought. And I learned to never do that ever again. So I wholeheartedly do.
And I honestly think that's so amazing.
You need to.
Honestly, like, I get so caught up, because I just moved to LA, and the thing is, like, everybody assumes that you have to treat everything the same way everyone else does, and it's so refreshing to hear from someone who's such a positive person and just in the community, and the fact that it's just so refreshing to hear, actually, because, like, everyone forgets that we are all individually made. We are all different in every aspect. There's nothing really that's the same with all of us except our common connections and interests. But to say that we have to cope with things a certain way in order it to be the right way is just like what society has beaten us into. It's bullied us into saying that we have to be a certain way to be accepted, and if we don't accept that, then there's something wrong with us. And the fact that you strive away from that and you say, hey, if I'm going to grieve this way, this is my own problem and I'm going to solve it myself. No one else can tell me how to cookie cutter this out. And that's so inspirational. It's so inspirational.
Well, it's the difference between religion and spirituality. Mm-hmm. And that's really what I hear from you, the spirituality coming out from the religious aspect that you came up with, And behind every great woman is a great mother.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Or a mother figure if you're not blessed to have a supportive mother.
Or in general, that's just like a strong person in your life that you can rely on. Everyone has one, and the fact that it was your family member and the one who raised you, that's just such a beautiful thing to see. It's just such a thing that you don't see much anymore, and now that you hear about it and you see about it, and it's just so inspirational to think that one person can give off their legacy to somebody else, and then that person just make it blossom into something beautiful.
And the whole idea of being accepted, it's so great to have you at Palm Springs Pride, because Palm Springs Pride, of all the prides that I've been to, it is literally the most accepting. You have every type of crowd, age, orientation, and everybody is truly welcome. You hear, Pride is welcome. Palm Springs Pride is really that feeling. My very first Palm Springs Pride parade, I looked out, and there was my grandma and my mom. Oh. And they totally surprised me out of nowhere, and tears just sprung to my face. But that's the openness that comes from Palm Springs Pride. When did TLC start aligning themselves with the LGBT community? What was that inspiration?
You know what? I honestly don't separate anyone. None of our fans, but I totally understand what Pride stands for, because a lot of my friends, they're in the community or whatever. So anything that has to do with you being who you are, because I've had a lot of friends who I helped come out the closet, like, hey, be who you are. I'd rather somebody lose friends and change their lifestyle to be happy with themselves and who they are before they're faking to live a whole lifetime for other people. That just kills me to even watch somebody do it. So I always sit my friends down and have that conversation and help them through it. I don't just have the talk. Like, I will be there, for you to cry on your shoulder. Because I understand some people can't deal with it and some people leave their life, but you have to make a choice. And I'm always going to choose for you to stand up for what you believe in and be who you are wholeheartedly, no matter what. So, I totally get Pride. You know, so when we were asked to do the first one, I think this is probably like the fourth or fifth one
Yeah,
we've done
yeah.
overseas and Paris, and we're doing it worldwide now, so it's awesome.
Well, and audiences just love you, and your message is timeless from the very first song that you guys put out to the last album. I just have to ask on a personal note. Of course, all the gays wanted me to ask this. What was it like having Bette Midler cover Waterfalls?
I love that. You know what? When you hear that somebody like her, so she's so iconic, it makes you feel childlike. You're like, oh my God, she did. You know, you don't feel like you're the artist anymore. You just feel like that little girl who looks up to people, and you're like, wow, like I actually have something that, you know, from someone that I used to look at, do myself. I mean, I felt that way with Michael Jackson, Prince. Like, it's just amazing. Like, I never in my wildest dreams would have ever believed any of them would have done anything with us. I'm like, what? That's
She said
crazy.
wildest dream, but that's now her reality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, your dreams
it's not
are
a dream
reality.
anymore. You need
That's
another.
right.
You need another dream now because you've already hit it all.
Oh, child, I got all kinds of dreams, and you know, my daughter. I'm now while you're talking to me, she just moved in her own place. So
Oh.
I'm supporting her dreams now. She just started her makeup line on her birthday last week. So just watching her live out her dream is amazing.
I love that.
Which is like what we were just talking about, passing it on.
Passing it on your
right?
legacy.
It's so
Pass on your
cute.
legacy
My
in
makeup,
whatever
my
form.
toys. Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my daughter.
Yeah,
because
please
just to
do.
see that thank you. Like, she's my makeup artist, and she just to see her do her own logo, start her own company. You know, like she just turned 19, so I'm so proud of her. But I named her Chase Anila, and Anila means angel in Hawaiian. So she started her company called Anila Beauty. So
I
on
love
Instagram is Shop Anila Beauty, ANELA, Shop Anila Beauty.
Yeah.
Everybody, you better go to that Instagram. You better
Go to that
follow.
Instagram.
You better buy that gorgeous makeup because we're gonna see T-Boz looking on point. It's because of the makeup.
Not gonna lie, I may wear it also.
Yeah.
So she's coming out with more and more. She started off so long, and she's gonna put more and more and more out.
All right, we're gonna let you go and get some rest because we're gonna see you Saturday at Palm Springs Pie. But real fast, I'm gonna send you off with a little rapid fire.
Okay.
Okay. You can go back in time and headline with any other performer or group from the past. Who would it be?
Nirvana.
Who?
Nirvana.
Nirvana. Oh my God.
What?
That is a
Yes,
mashup.
I would have said Michael because he's my favorite, but I'm scared to do that because we worked with him before, but he didn't perform. So I'd rather watch him. I ain't crazy enough to stand on stage with him. So I would say Nirvana.
Nirvana, that would be really interesting.
Nirvana.
I would pay a lot of money for those front row seats. Okay, most embarrassing song on your playlist?
On my playlist, it's this song my brother, we just listened to it yesterday. It's called "Who You Are" by Gay Guitar.
Okay.
That's a name.
Yeah.
Listen to it, you're gonna laugh like, where the hell did you? But I love that song.
Okay.
It's called It's called "Whoever You Are" by Gay Guitar.
All right.
So if they start blasting that on stage, what are you gonna do?
Saturday.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna fall out like.
Write that down. Write that down.
We are all divas in life at some point. What was the biggest diva moment that you yourself had when you look back? You're like, oh Lord, I can't believe I did that.
Oh my God. Probably right before I made it, I was such a diva because I was doing background dancing, and so I did my first show with the group as a background dancer. So after the show, I said I quit, and they were I belong in the front where you are, and they thought I was crazy, and they were looking at me like this stinking heifer.
Same.
Well, we're so glad you pulled that diva moment. And finally, one thing you want your fans to know the most.
That I love them, and if it wasn't for them, I couldn't be who I am. I'm clear on that. So thank you for all the support.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you. Thank you for being a new voice in our community. And I can't wait to see you. Girl, we're going to be backstage having some fun before you guys go up.
Girl, I'm gonna be fangirling. I'm gonna have a clacky fan. I'm be like, girl, that's my girl. Clack, clack, clack.
All right, get some rest, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. I'm so excited for Pride this weekend.
I didn't even know she was going to be on this show.
It's so
All right.
cute.
Also joining the show, we have Elizabeth Ziff, literally off of the plane, jet lag, but ready to have some fun. From Betty. Betty is the iconic pop performance trio that has wowed audiences and festivals worldwide for literal decades. Fronted by Allison Palmer and sisters Amy Ziff and our guest Elizabeth, they've been playing Prides since the 80s. When nobody else wanted to perform, they were taking the stage. They are part of the Stonewall 50 ambassadors. They have performed at World Pride several times, as well as Prides in every continent. They have worked for freedom and equality for the LGBT global community since their inception. Elizabeth, vocals, guitar, electronic programming. Allison, vocal, bass, guitar. Amy, vocals and cello, are the singers, songwriters, and arrangers. And at times they have people from the culture join them on stage. They have been recording, touring, performing, and creating together as independent artists for 33 years. In addition to television, film, theater, concert tours, they travel the world as art envoys with the U.S. State Department and with their nonprofit, The Betty Effect, performing humanitarian outreach and cultural diplomacy. Of course, you know one of their most famous theme songs from the L Word, Showtime, by the way. And Betty, they're also part of the new podcast family. Welcome to the podcast family.
Thanks.
Betty Girlbrand, the first season is out now on all platforms. It's a history of the band in music and story for the past 34 years. Currently in production on their 11th studio recording, a new acoustic album. We should have it spring of 2020. I'm so excited that you're in studio, by the way.
Thanks.
Please welcome Elizabeth. Also joining us, Michael Paul, California resident DJ, producer, and event producer. Michael Paul spins at some of the hottest nightlife spots in Southern California. You can also see him spin inside the happiest place on earth, world-famous Disneyland and Disneyland California Adventure, as he headlines their massive nighttime EDM-inspired events such as Glowfest, Electronica, get it, and Mad Tea Party, to name a few. In addition to pushing new and cutting-edge music, he has produced tracks for events and shows around the world, and also produced the opening track for the LA Lakers, by the way. His production company, LE Parties, throws some of the most epic nightclub events and raging pool parties in Las Vegas and San Diego. They will be making their Palm Springs debut with Pool Fest, a 4-day house and EDM Pride celebration at Hotel Zozo. Please welcome back Michael Paul.
Hey, what's up?
He's also now officially hosting my birthday party.
Oh.
I love your resume. I'm totally into it.
Thank you.
Hit me up on LinkedIn.
Okay. Oh, LinkedIn?
Oh,
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
She's a little official now.
Oh,
Official.
I thought it was going to be a different platform, but that's another story.
Girl, I don't have your phone, bitch. I'm trying to meet you. Get
All
away.
right, we have to take our first break while I'll take our in-studio selfie that you can see on Instagram. So when we come back.
In 45 minutes after taking a perfect selfie.
All right, guys.
I love it.
Perfect. And we're back.
That was the fastest selfie I've ever taken. It's weird because it's not on Facetune immediately. That's
Well,
weird.
You don't have that
I haven't
app?
posted it immediately.
No, I have Facetune
It's
too.
YouCam Perfect. Hello.
I take a picture. I look like a dinosaur. It's cool. Like a green.
They have these
Oh,
now.
I was going to say,
They have these now built-in filters on the Androids where the photo is originally like taken in a filter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I saw about
Okay.
switching to an Android.
some of us are naturally beautiful, so I don't know. Elizabeth,
Let me know.
1986.
Yes, darling.
That is a chunk of time.
Mm-hmm.
You
To work
ladies,
with your sister, think about it. I've been working with my sister and my best friend for that long.
that could
Oh.
ruin a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Being in a band, traveling, or moving in
That's
together.
why I can't drink anymore.
Wait, so do you guys, you and your sister are still close, right?
Oh yeah,
Well, they're
we're close,
performing
but
it.
we've had such incredible, epic fights that, and on stage too sometimes.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, it's.
I love
mean,
that.
we get down and dirty,
That's
but
real.
I feel
Oh,
like
it's
you'd
super
win
real.
though. I look at you and I'm like, I wouldn't mess with her.
no, she wins because she's much bitchier than me.
Oh, okay.
I hope she's asleep. But you know what? Her wife just had a baby. 4 months ago.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
I know. I'm so tired of gay babies.
I'm tired of babies in general.
Gabies, they're gabies.
Everybody's having them.
It's okay
It's
to
a
not have a
trend.
kid.
Did you
I
not
know.
see?
Actually, my other best
dog.
friend's wife just had a baby
real.
yesterday.
See,
They're-
that's
all
why I
these
hit as a
lesbians-
friend on
I think
Facebook.
they all hit
I
at
just
the same
can't.
all
time.
the
though.
lesbians,
What?
all the older
Babies.
lesbians have younger lesbian wives, and all those women are getting are pregnant. So I'm the last living lesbian who's not married or have a baby.
Don't have a kid, please.
Yeah, don't be like
well,
everybody
that
else.
that train has way left the station, girl. I mean, it would be beyond a miracle if I had a baby.
You never know.
You know,
Anything is possible.
I've been trying to have a child for like 4 years now. It's not happening for me.
But
so.
you've had plenty of vodka babies, so.
I'm more of a tequila, but I mean, like.
You are the
I'm
child.
versatile.
I was married to tequila. We had a bad breakup. It was hideous.
Tequila is literally the only liquor that I can't do anymore. Like, I just can't because really bad things happen.
Tequila's like that one night stand for me. You know, you
How
take
about a
them
one night
out.
in jail? That's my one night
Ew,
stand.
you take them out. I collect $200 each time I pass go, bitch. Anyway, you take them out. You have a great time with tequila. You fucked up. You don't remember it. And the next morning, you remember it.
You guys are drinking bad tequila. That's why.
It's not bad
Everybody
tequila.
says that. There's
No.
still
Tequila's like a
alcohol.
good-
Last time I
love
went to do
tequila.
tequila, I
It's a good
went to
drug.
Pool Fest.
It's a good drug.
Good
It's a good drug.
$17 for that drink.
Good time.
But you said something about fighting, which is
Fighting,
actually,
but we love each other too. I mean, we've also, when we started, we played, and this is before we were in two bands together. So we've been playing together since 1981. Okay,
Yeah.
we started
Oh.
like in high school, and then we played our first gay pride in DC where we started in 1982, I think, and nobody else would play. It was hidden around the corner. People were afraid to go.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to take pictures because people would lose their jobs, and we were the only band that would play. And everybody said, if you play for gay pride, if you play for any AIDS things, you will never have a career.
Right.
And we just said, well, fuck you. We're doing
Fuck
it
it, we'll do
anyway.
it. Yeah.
Well, a lot of our friends were
love
dying,
that.
and we
Yeah,
didn't know
right.
what was happening. And then this is even before ACT UP, and I don't know. It was just something that we would never have said no to. And Allison's straight, and it just was such a natural turn of events.
Did you feel like you had to? Like you felt like, you know what? I should be a voice. I should do this.
Well, we were from DC, and it was during Reagan, so it was so political there anyway. It was such a great place to come out in your 20s, and it was so political. Everybody was together, black and white, gay and straight, and the underground really rose up.
Sure.
And then all of our friends started dying, and nobody gave a shit.
Right.
You know,
We need
and
to do
so
something.
and Reagan didn't say the word AIDS until 1986. So it was a big deal. And you're right, we did. We felt like we had to do it. We were singing in hospitals for people when people wouldn't touch
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
them.
right,
They
don't
wouldn't
touch me.
touch them.
Right.
You know, and
crazy
it
to
was
think
it
about.
was crazy. Everybody, it was so filled with fear, but it was also a time of real love. And love in the community where lesbians really took care of a lot of gay men. We were the first buddies.
Uh-huh.
And it was, it was just an incredible time to realize that you were gay, and it was dangerous, and it was, but also I have to tell you, this
But like
sex
you were
was
the
so much
L to
hotter.
our G's. We
Well,
we don't complete the alphabet without you guys. And the thing is, you saying that, I just want to ask, when has ever been anyone hated upon for taking the road less traveled? Never. Everyone's like the road less traveled.
no.
No, I'm just saying. I'm
No,
saying the
we
road
got-
less
we got
traveled.
hated. We
You
got-
no, you get that. But I'm saying it's like no one's ever like, oh, I don't want to take the road less traveled. I'm just saying that nobody ever is like, I don't want to be independent.
But it was just a road that we had to go on.
And
like
you needed
anybody,
to.
any of us.
And you
would've.
don't know that.
Anybody would have.
yeah.
You don't know what's
But
going to
here's
happen.
the thing, and this is a real generational gap because, and I got this question, and you brought it up on your own, where it's one of my questions I got so many emails on. There was a very dangerous climate at that time. It wasn't like, isn't it great to stick up for LGBT? We didn't have what we have now where you can walk down the street, or we had a bar you could walk through the front door. People were literally dying, like you said.
I kissed my girlfriend on the street, and I got the shit beat out of me several times in D.C., but that didn't stop us. And also, I have to say, like, it was a very dangerous time, but it was also such a time of coming together and fighting for your rights. And it was also a whole part of the women's equality and reproductive choice and things that we're still fighting for now, which is so ridiculous and insane.
We've taken
and-
a few steps back.
Oh, yeah, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
this monster that's in office now is so much worse than Reagan was, and we thought Reagan was bad. And this girl's got to go. You know, she really does. She has to take a trip. And
You know what?
and
It's.
get
I feel
out.
like it's just like, it's like a. I think I look at him and I think Fox News story. That's all I think. When I think.
They're
okay,
not even
That's
behind
no,
him.
I'm just saying he's just something for somebody to argue about, to say something, and everyone just likes that moment to having their own word in, and they're not thinking about the country at hand. They're not thinking about the people at hand. They're not thinking about the community at hand, and all they're thinking about is, oh my God, this is interesting for the moment to be a part of.
It's just to look the other way.
It's just a
Shiny
moment to
object.
distract them from their actual
Yeah.
lives and say, look at the whole picture. this is not okay. And we're accepting it because we're in an age period where we're like, we just want drama. We just want something to talk about.
Some people.
Well, a community. I'm just saying about everyone likes to talk about things that don't involve their own life and involves other lives as a whole, and they like to think they know better. You know, but the thing is,
I think so many people are on such the good side of the world. I think what happened is we got a little bit lazy and we didn't realize that 30% of the country could really take over.
We forgot.
But
We totally forgot. We got too
we
comfortable.
forgot. And it started with Reagan,
yeah.
because what happened
You're
with
correct.
Reagan
Yeah.
was he outsourced everything, and we saw it happen when the right wing married the religious right. And that's what's happened, and slowly but surely all through the country.
we're just moving backwards. Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Well, yeah, but they got afraid, and because we got so far advanced, and then when Obama came in, they just lost their marbles. You know what I mean, they just could not deal.
But you don't realize how good you had it until you compare it to something a little bit rougher.
They're the minority. We have to just remember that they're the minority. So if we get behind the right person or any person opposing him, we will win because we just have to vote.
What I tell everyone with that is I'm saying, look, we needed a little rain to see the rainbow at the end.
There's a lot of rain happening.
It helped.
I don't know if I agree with that.
This hurricane came in,
pouring.
and it made us think about it, though. We weren't thinking about it. We were so comfortable with, okay, we're just going to go on with whatever they say. But then when this happened, it made allies rise. It made communities rise.
It has made the younger generation more involved.
It made us want to vote.
They got lazy.
It made me want to vote, for sure.
But Elizabeth, I do want to talk about the honesty, though, because it was a choice to limit saying, I'm going to be an out group, an out performer, an out artist, you know, because at that time it was limiting. It's not like now where we have athletes coming out, we have actors coming out. It's like, good for them. It was a different climate. And so to stand up for what you believed in, you kind of did sacrifice this whole mainstream A-list careers, so to speak.
I've never thought about it like that.
Really?
It was just, no, I never did. I've never thought that I gave anything up by standing up for the community or for women's rights or reproductive rights or anything like that. It's just, I mean, I don't think the three of us ever thought of that. I actually don't think the three of us would still be together if we didn't have the politics that we do have. Because more than anything, that's kept us together. Because we fight about music, we fight about hairstyles, we fight about clothes.
And on stage, apparently,
We
right?
fight about everything, but we don't fight about politics. That's the one thing that has always brought us together, because we do believe in making a better world, especially for gay people, especially for young girls growing up and little boys. And, that's really the fuel that keeps us going.
Could I just ask a personal question too? Because
Sure.
we just got off the phone. On the subject, is your family a major part of your life right now currently? Like, I know your sister is, obviously. But I mean,
My parents passed away quite a long time ago. But they were fans of the band. Yeah, it was interesting.
But were they somebody that influenced you to just always just be an individual, independent, speak your mind, always free expression?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people go through this thing where they have to fight with their parents. Like, a lot of in the gay community have to say, these are my views, and then you have to fight with them constantly over years. I want to know, was your family very supportive of you speaking out and being an individual and saying, yeah, I'm going to fucking fuck with this pride because you know what? No one else is, and I want to be a voice.
Well, my family was super political, and they weren't down with the gay thing at all.
Interesting.
When I
Really?
they were very much feminist, very much civil rights workers, all that thing. But when I came out, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, and I came out. I was 21 years old. I was like, I'm gay. I don't want you to just like it. I want you to celebrate it.
You sound like me when I asked them for a tattoo at 21.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm going to celebrate it. I'm 21. I've got it. It's funny.
No, they weren't having it at all.
They were not having it.
No, they weren't. But, bless them. I could have done it in an easier way, but I'm always like full on. I'm either drinking till I barf or I'm not drinking at all. That's who I am. I smoke 2 packs a day.
100%.
Which one are we going to see on Saturday?
I want to see all of the ones.
We're going to be backstage.
I'm extreme. That's, I've slept with a lot of people in my life. And
Good
that's
for
one
you.
thing that I'm sad about the younger generation, because I've been in a band for so long, and also this is pre-AIDS, so we fucked everything that moved, everything. And
Speak for
back
yourself.
and back in the 80s, a lot of gay men and women we were all sleeping with each other.
Yeah,
you know,
it was
like,
exploration.
It was a really interesting time, and you know, I don't know if you know Essex Hemphill. He was a poet. You should look him up. He was a really great black gay poet. And in DC, it was a real black queer scene in DC. But the black gay men were really ostracized by their community. The community did not have it. And that's why so many black gay men died.
Yeah.
Because the community did not acknowledge that they existed.
But like during this time and everything, like you said you were so you slept with everyone slept with anyone. It was not a thing. Was it a thing though? Like whenever you came home, I just want to know, do people judge you at that time period based on who you slept with?
No.
No,
People were
no.
not judging each other at all.
And how did you feel during those times?
I'm sleeping around, probably
hot.
pretty good.
Hot?
Super
Tired.
hot.
She was real tired.
And that's all I needed to hear, because this is why we're taking steps back, because I sit here and I can't even make out with a person on Snapchat singly while they're single without somebody telling me that
there's a
I'm doing
different
something
energy.
wrong.
Don't listen to that
Exactly.
bullshit.
And
Yeah, but it's
independence
a
should be
different
the
energy,
topic
though.
of
It's
this.
like,
Listen,
look at me kiss
you know what
somebody
the-
where you were like, I'm in the moment.
Listen, you know what the problem is? It's a little square thing that you have in your hand
Yeah,
24/7.
social media. Exactly.
Have you
It's
ever
your
gone and
phone.
left? Have you ever left your phone at home for one night?
I
just to
actually
see?
have, and
By
you
mistake,
know what?
probably.
You know, I lost a lot of money when that happened. But
Well, that's true, because your business is what you post.
But like, no, it's so refreshing, because like I look back and I say, okay, are we stepping back or forwards when I think of things? And the last couple weeks, I realized, look, like, people are going to judge you no matter what you do. If it's the right thing, the wrong thing in their mind, if you sleep with this person, you don't sleep with this person, everyone's going to judge you. It doesn't matter what you do. You might as well do what makes you happy, because someone's going to judge you somewhere.
friends.
And
It's not
don't
hurting anybody
worry
else.
about
And
it.
that's
Fuck
not my
it.
But what's interesting is
That's not my world.
you lived in a world without social media,
Yeah.
but you live in a world
Yeah.
with social
It's
media.
two
It's
totally
two
different
to-
worlds.
But-
Like
So
we're like
weird.
in this middle.
It's weird to
yes,
see
it's
that.
But
definitely
I live in
interesting.
it now. I mean, I'm very much on
Oh,
social
yeah.
media.
Yeah.
But I grew up not having
But that's
it at
so
all.
beautiful, though. That's what I think
You
is
could
so
do things
beautiful.
and nobody knew.
Is the thing is,
Privacy.
you could,
Fabulous.
But the best thing about it, you could do things and no one cared.
No one knew. They
No,
would've
no, I-
cared.
Oh,
you hit it?
They would have cared if they knew, but no one knew, and that was so. I mean, you
And
had-
I
it was
idolize
hotter.
that. It's because it's such a like thing. You're like, I'm gonna do this because I'm gonna please myself. And nowadays it's like, I'm gonna do this because it's gonna please everyone else.
No, but along those lines of changes, the group has weathered so many different changes. Pride audience changes. Different sounds of music changing, political changes. How do you guys keep your voice current?
Well, the thing about Betty is that we're really our sound has changed and amalgamated over the years, but we have 3-part harmony, and that's really where our sound comes from. And it's based on a cappella, but we obviously play instruments and stuff like that. So our sound always goes back to the three of us singing together. So you know if we're singing, you know it's us.
Yeah.
So and that kind of sound, it's a primal sound because it's so natural. And if you're hitting a certain chord, you know if you're sitting around the campfire and you're a cave person, you're gonna
It
respond
resonates.
to it.
It's human voice.
You know,
it's
as
not
a producer.
electronic. It's human, and
Exactly.
it's
It's emotion.
And it
It's
hits
emotion.
you,
It's
and
emotion.
Even if you use electronica with it, you still have that automatic sense that is it's just a natural response. And so that's really what's kept us going and what people do respond to no matter what, because we always sing some sort of a cappella. You'll see it, Palm Springs.
You respond to talent way faster than you respond to autotune.
And also, well, but autotune has its place, you know what I mean? Like
Its place, but
there's
like
stuff.
originality.
it's like an Instagram filter.
Okay, excuse me.
Thank you.
But
Or,
like
you know, if they
originality
use-
always hits harder to me than something that's dubbed over 8 million times.
Well, you know
Acoustics
when
are my
somebody can
shit.
sing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Like Lady Gaga can sit at a piano
Oh,
in a
God.
corner of a hole-in-the-wall bar and still wow you the same way she does it in a big Vegas
Yes,
show. And
for
you guys
sure.
have that element too.
And in
you
a
guys
Vegas.
have the show element, but you also
Right.
could literally just start wherever you are. This question came also in a few different ways. Like we said, you have really set the foundation for artists to be okay with performing on Pride stages. Now we see a lot of headliners from mainstream music now like they're coming and performing at Prides all over. Is there ever that feeling? It's like, girl, we made this okay
We
for
were
you.
here first.
Yeah.
If I were a little person, maybe it would. But no, you know what? I'm happy for the community that people are understanding and realizing. But in America, it really is down to the money. And that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of money involved in prides, in the bigger prides. And I think that a lot of people want to go towards that who haven't necessarily supported the community throughout their career,
Or
but
paid
then they
their
finally
dues.
I literally hate that. Okay,
but it does happen. But it's good in another way, because then they see the community and they realize how great it is or how huge it is, And so when it's monetized, it changes things for sure, and it brings a different element in. But I don't think it's necessarily bad.
And their fans will come out to Pride, and they'll have to rub shoulders next to people that they might never meet in their own life.
Has that changed you at all, though?
Yeah.
Like just because obviously from now to in the 80s, I mean, what has totally changed as far as like the financial road versus the passion of still performing? I mean, are you still passionate?
I'm so passionate.
As you are or
Yeah.
were back then?
Yes, I really am. And we just played in London, and it was still so great. And everywhere we play, I still get that. I still
feeling.
get that feeling.
Yeah.
And when I don't get that feeling anymore, I'm just gonna like wheel myself off
Sure.
and go to a pasture somewhere, because
You love what you do.
I do love what I do, and I love who I do it with.
Right.
And I think we're still together because it's the three of us.
Yeah.
And when one of us is down, or one of us is over it, or one of us just doesn't believe anymore, the other two will bring them back.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we've had our times.
it's such a family, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean,
there's-
we've been
there's
through our
ups and
deaths.
downs.
We've been through
Yeah.
our deaths, all of our parents' deaths together. We've been through Allison's birth of both of her children, her wedding, my sister's wedding, her child, my cancer. I mean, we've really
You're
seen
past the
it.
point of
And
no
I
return.
think you're in a great
just-
example of the
Yeah.
fact, I know your sister's also with you, but I think you're a great example of you don't pick your family, but at the same time you can. You can have those people that are family to you that aren't necessarily
But
blood related.
That's the gay community.
And that's the
thing,
gay
I think.
community at
And
this
that's Palm
point.
Springs Pride, too.
Yeah.
It is your family. We have to talk about your podcasting. Obviously, we love podcasting here. This is, you guys have done a whole season of podcasting. That's creativity on a whole different level.
I produced it. I have a studio, so I have a recording studio, and the two of them don't really listen to podcasts, but it's more.
I never listen to podcasts.
Same.
It's not a live
Ditto.
one.
Also me.
I do. I really like them, but it's not a live podcast. It's we sit around and talk about
It's
it,
a
and then
series, yeah.
I don't know if you've listened to it, but it's really fun because I mix in. We have so much archival material.
A lot of history there.
A lot of history, and a lot of our early punk stuff, and then other things.
Yes.
It's 80s shit. We did a television show for kids in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's
Wait, what was it called?
hilarious. Encyclopedia. I mean,
It was on HBO in like 1980s.
Must have missed it. I'll get the book on tape.
1989.
1989, and you guys were in every single episode.
Yeah.
And you guys sang about what letter, what? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes.
Ethel Eichenberger was in
crazy.
it. It was super gay.
Yeah.
And for
crazy.
kids.
I love
yeah,
gay
it was
shows.
really good. And we had, we were in the elevator one time with Pearl Jam, and the drummer
Oh,
was
shit.
drummer was a huge fan of Encyclopedia, so that was
I
really
love
fun.
your letter L.
The
It was
way
just
you
funny if
say
they said something
L.
like that. Or,
No, it's you have to watch it because
Yeah.
the '80s stuff is so genius. Oh my god, everything about it, the clothes, and it's really wild. It's on our YouTube channel.
and now you're podcasting. Do you think that the reason why everyone loves podcasting so much is because you can do what you want? You're not held back by someone telling you what you
Exactly.
have to do,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly. I mean, you're in control, and
Yeah.
in
You have
our
your
business,
voice.
in
You have
our
your
business,
voice.
yeah. And I'm a producer, and I don't have to have a record
Dub.
company or somebody else doing it. I can just sit there in my studio and then just like
Vent.
do
Vent.
it.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. You guys should listen because it's super gay.
Definitely
too.
want to now.
Yeah.
Oh, she said,
Super
I relate
gay.
to you because it's super gay.
Super gay.
But it's also a history of, like we were talking about, how the
a
sounds
history
of
of the
music has changed, and you can definitely hear that progression. We're going to take a little peek at Sticky Rice, which I hope we're going to hear on Saturday.
We are.
You guys, their last album is called On the Rocks.
Oh,
How
what's that?
insane
I
is
can
that?
relate. I can relate.
And this was
I
delivered
for
to
sure
me
can
by
relate.
Miss Elizabeth right off the plane on the rocks. So we're going to listen to a little bit of Sticky Rice. And when we come back, there's more from our panel and Kristine W.
Yay.
Honey, be a mystery.
it time. Are you ready for juicy and ripe?
Sticky rice and mango, Thai tongue tango. Sticky rice and mango, sweet time. Put some money in the coconut. E to the B, yeah. Blow the roof off the Betty Hut. Hungry people.
Dumpling, sing along too. It's better than a baby Ruth. Cookie, your fortune's right.
Are you ready?
For juicy and ripe.
Sticky rice and mango, Thai tongue tango. Sticky rice and mango, sweet time.
Good song.
Wow.
No,
was-
as a DJ, you listen to different sounds. So what did you just experience from that?
Well, the fact that like anything that moves me, you know what I mean? It's like if you first off, if you listen to music and you don't move, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like all of a sudden you just want to like move and dance and like put your hands up and smile. Like it's like this feeling. And I know songs can take a million emotions, but that was I've never heard that before. That was fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
And
Well,
I love the horn
that's-
section
yeah.
and the
Yeah, I love the
triad
horns.
voice.
That's Mike Thorne. He produced Tainted Love and a bunch of other stuff.
Wow.
He produced that album, but it's that song is a real amalgam of the three of us. And
Sure.
usually we write our own songs and then we come together and do it like that. But this song came from a restaurant in Hawaii that we had sticky rice and mango as dessert near
love
my
the
house that I
backstories.
lived
Say
there.
which one?
Yeah,
I want to
the
go
backstories.
now right now.
It's called Nings and it's in Pahoa.
It's in
And
Pahoa.
it's super gay.
I love how you always. I love when
Everything
she.
is super gay.
So
Super
she
gay.
looks at me every time she says that, and she goes, "Super gay," and I'm like, "Okay, cool girl, I'm totes into it." like DM me later.
But if you listen to the whole album, it's very different. All of us
Yes.
have very
Every
different
song is a little
influences.
Yeah.
It's all different.
There's a full
yeah.
story being told here on Betty on the Rocks. Of course, we love it. You guys have to get it, and we're going to hear them. And you're going to stick around because we have some rapid fire. We're going to talk a little bit more.
Also, I want to hear
about
Christina
you.
W. because I'm a big fan.
Yes, well, speaking of, Kristine W. hails from Washington, by the way, after winning titles as Miss Tri-Cities and Miss Washington and placing first in the talent competition at the Miss America pageant. She went on to pursue her educational and musical dreams in Las Vegas. There she found success headlining her own show at the Las Vegas Hilton, winning several Las Vegas Entertainer of the Year awards, and being officially sanctioned as the entertainer who performed more live shows at the Las Vegas Hilton than any other performer in history, including Elvis Presley.
Ew.
The award led to June 28th being officially sanctioned Kristine W. Day in the state of Nevada. We're taking a road trip on June 28th. That's all I know. She began recording pop and dance tracks in 1994. Her first track, Feel What You Want, reached #1. And since then, she has had a steady flow of chart toppers. Stars, her single became 17th Billboard #1. She now ties Mariah Carey for the 6th most #1s since the charts. 1976 inception. She returns to the dance floor so recently with Love and Lies, the first part of her 3-episode issue double album that includes the #1 single Stars and her brand new single, literally days hot off the press, Just a Lie. And Just a Lie is a very layered song, and we're going to talk about it. Please welcome Kristine W.
Yay!
Can she see me, or is that just you?
Yeah. Girl, you look fantastic, by the way. You know, it must be so tough having such a gay audience, especially when you come to Prides, because everybody's like, girl, you look good. And after a certain point, you're like, yeah, I know. That's why I dressed up.
Yeah, right? We showered for this.
Yeah.
Same.
I wish more of the bears would shower, but that's another story.
Nothing's fresh like that cold sweat.
Oh, yes. Kristine, I love that you started out in the pageant world. As a gay man, you know we love that whole world. What shaped you most from doing those kind of shows?
Well, I mean, competing in pageants really taught me about, competing, and it taught me about, makeup and hair. And I mean, I already kind of got that because my mom was a working musician, and she she had the hair and the makeup and everything, and she's very glamorous. She's very she's almost like a drag queen, really. I kind of already had that, but I think the cool thing about being in the Miss America pageant is that it's so much pressure. Like, you're going to be performing on television, and I was 18 years old, and that was just a great experience to have that kind of pressure and to pull it off, because after that you have a lot of confidence. You're like, oh my God, I did that. I stood out there with my swimsuit, and I won a swimsuit, whatever it was, first swimsuit, and I won best in talent. And you just gave me a lot of confidence to say, hey, I'm going off to college, I'm going to Vegas, it's the entertainment capital of the world, and I'm going to put myself through school with some of my scholarship, and then also, performing, singing, and getting my own band and show together.
That's awesome.
Good stuff,
That's such a great foundation. I did get this email, though, from a pageant mom, and she asked, now in our current political and social climate, are beauty pageants misogynistic?
I don't think so. I don't think the Miss America pageant is, because it's totally a scholarship pageant. So all the money that comes in, all the money goes back into the girls in scholarships to fund their education. So I can honestly say, if I hadn't had that scholarship, my mom is a single mom with 4 kids, a widow. She was a widow, and I wouldn't have had the resources to get my education. I wouldn't have been able to leave the farm community that I grew up in. I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to go, oh, I can compete on a world stage in a national level against all these talented women and, kick ass. So, it was life-changing. Gave me a lot of confidence, and I think it's really important for girls. The Miss USA, all that, and a lot of that is, you're right. I mean, a lot of it's, hot bodies, and that's about it. As long as they're hot,
Hey, we're in the gay community. We get our share of that as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. We've been talking a lot about family on this episode.
Sure.
Sometimes the show takes a certain theme. I love that literally in your family, your grandmother and your mother were in music, which started getting you involved very early, and you got over your stage fright by performing in churches and a local retirement home.
Yes, my grandma used to take me down to the retirement home, and her and I would walk down there, and they were a captive audience,
Well, they weren't going anywhere, right?
And my grandma was like, we're going down there, they're starved for entertainment, they're starved to see young people. This is so exciting and fun for them. Some of them don't ever get to see their grandchildren, or some of them have Alzheimer's. They don't remember that they even have grandchildren. So she explained all that to me, and how important it was to go there and put on a show for them. But then you're gonna meet these people. They're gonna have their stories that are gonna be life-changing. And I already wanted to be a songwriter. I already knew that. I would torture her out all the time, test driving songs on my grandma with my mini Martin guitar. Yeah, I just tortured my whole family out. I'd beat the piano, play the guitar, and had all these songs. And so yeah, I got to, I had a great captive audience, and well, I'll tell you, it was very rewarding, because they just lit up. Some of them looked like they didn't know where they were or what was happening. The music would start, and I think that was my first experience of the power of music, and I named one of my albums The Power of Music.
Well, music is being used a lot recently in Alzheimer's research, because the brain connects to music. Choir singers who have Alzheimer's can start singing their parts again, even though they can't really communicate. Music definitely has...
Music is on a subconscious level.
Yeah.
So, it triggers an emotion.
It's on emotion.
Memory.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Music always hits emotions, and it ties to that, and you can't control it sometimes.
It's
But that's
also
the best part of
mathematical.
music. That's the best part of music, is that it's true, and it's clean, and it's something that nobody can control except for that person in their mind.
It's also mathematical.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Totally. Yeah.
That's why sometimes classical music can calm us down, because there is that mathematical, it kind of calms us down. There's a science to that. Okay, Kristine, we have to talk about Just a Lie, the latest single to drop. It has a bit of bite to it. Started off about death and loss, became really personal, because it kind of transitioned something that you've openly talked about, divorce. Can you tell us about that journey, how that song changed for you?
Well, I've never really done a lot of sharing of my personal life. You know, I generally take other people's stories and I'll weave them. Yeah, they're personal, but they're not super personal. I try to make it our story all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with Just a Lie, it just took a completely different turn because of the scenario that I was in, and I was living the song. And so it helped me get through it, writing the song, writing this album. There's 30 songs by the time it all rolls out.
Wow.
The album is called Issues. And
Yes.
there's 3 episodes.
It's a double issue, girl.
Same.
A lot of issues, like we're dealing with a lot of it. All of us are, you know. So I just kind of took everyone's, you know, around me and fans and friends and just the stories and things that we've all been going through over the last, you know, my last album came out in 2012, right?
Yeah.
So just tried to weave them into these songs. But Just a Lie is, you know, when you've been with somebody for a couple decades and then all of a sudden, you know, you start finding out all these things, you know, all these lies, all this stuff that's been going on. And it always starts with like one lie and then it just snowballs.
It unravels.
Like a ton and turns into this tornado, you know, a huge web. You know, my grandmother used to say that about when you practice to deceive, you know, there's been a lot of sayings about it, but yeah, it was cathartic. It was very good for me to be able to write about that particular, you know, scenario because it was tough. It was tough, and ironically, a really close friend of mine was dealing with a death that happened at the same time with an ex-partner of his, and he was trying to wrap his head around it, and it was just wild. It was that song kind of just wrote itself, and I just hope it helps other people get through, you know, breakups and situations, because music is so healing and it can help us get through a lot.
Kristine, I have to ask, was your ex Helen Keller? Because who the hell would look anywhere else outside of their own bed for love and companionship? He's crazy. Give me his phone number. I'm going to call him later.
Well, you know, I think, you know, he went through a situation where he went to jail. I'm going to say it. I'm going to put it right out there.
Let's do it. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, on the rocks, keeping it real.
Yes.
Ew.
He went to jail. You know, he went to jail. Was incarcerated for a year and almost a half. And he came out a very different person. So I think that was kind of a catalyst that started it, and it just kind of went from there.
Well, you have really turned grief into a positive, and it's kind of full circle. Your very first Billboard hit was inspired from the loss of your stepfather.
Yes, his passing away was brutal. That was brutal. Because during your mid-20s, you're pretty confused and scared, and you know the 20s, you know, coming out of college is absolutely terrifying, and him to pass away during that time was horrifying. And I was just, my shows in Las Vegas helped me get through it. My band and my dancers and everybody, you know, even the cocktail waitresses and bartenders, they helped me get through it. And yeah, and Land of the Living is a testament to all the things that I was feeling, and that's Land of the Living album just still connects with people because those feelings were pretty real. But it's so funny because I never thought that they would actually get out there to the people. You know, I'm in London recording this record. It seems such a long shot that anybody would ever hear all these stories and that you know, Feel What You Want, Land of the Living, all these messages would come out. And it was really good for me because when I got diagnosed with leukemia in 2001, and I had to live the words of Land of the Living, alive, 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 in the land of the living, I will survive. You know, you wrote it, now you got to live it, girl. Let's go. So I think it helped me get through that too, because that was a real tough one.
And I love that because we're talking with Elizabeth from Betty here as well, and that music is what resonates with the LGBT community. And you have been such a strong LGBT ally. Your music has become anthems to many, many in the community. And it's all that message, you know. And you've been there with us, girl. We see you at all of our prides, big or small. When did you first realize, like, hey, the gays love me?
Well, we've been through a lot together. We have been through a lot together. I'm so blessed to be.
Yes, we
I
have.
feel like I'm just part of the wallpaper. I'm part of the community. I'm just part of the party, you know. And I'm so lucky for that. So lucky. And I'm grateful that Land of the Living came out in that time of 1998, when people were living. Understanding that they could live with AIDS. It was so important to
it was
have
a
a message like that, and because there was so much fear. So that was a very healing song and powerful. It was a great message that needed to be told, and through music it's powerful because a lot of people weren't out yet either. So that was I'm really happy that I was able to be there during that time too, because those were scary times.
If you don't mind me asking, I'm going to ask kind of a personal question. So I'm like newly into the whole gay community and everything like that. And you guys have all been a part of it. I'm newly into it. God, get it with it, okay? Anyway,
Please,
I'm newly because I didn't come out until like 3 years ago. But the thing is, like, some days you wake up.
We knew.
I'm just saying.
Stevie Wonder knew.
Can I have a serious moment for 5 seconds? They wouldn't even let me see this. They wouldn't even let me have a serious moment. They're just ready. That's what gays are really good at doing. Is just like.
Girl, the
just
doctor
going at
knew.
it.
He's like, it's
We
not a
just
boy,
keep it
it's a
real.
gay.
I said, they're like, when was the last time you had sexual relations? I was like, with a woman, I don't know.
Okay, what's the question?
Anyway, so I want to know when you go through these pageants, you go through all this ridicule, you have your losses in your life. What is the one thing when you wake up in the morning, whenever you've had like the worst night ever, and you're just like, what do you tell yourself to say, I'm gonna benefit myself and watch over what I'm doing? Because I know a lot of times that people just go into a spiral after they go through a huge event, and they just want to close it all down. But I see that you've constantly progressed. You've constantly moved forward. You use your struggles as like a way to influence you to do better. What is something that you wake up in the morning after having like a moment and you say, this is what I'm saying to get myself out of bed. This is what I'm saying to push myself to do amazing things as you've done. What is that one thing that you tell yourself to get yourself out of the bed in the morning after something big like that has happened?
Right. Well, I tell myself that I was given a gift. I was very lucky to be given a gift, and it's my job to get up and get out there and share it and do some good and create positive energy.
Like it was your purpose.
Yeah, it's my purpose, right?
Yeah.
The purpose-driven life. That book, right?
I love that.
And I lean on my faith. I have a really great family. I have incredible friends. Like, I couldn't make it without them. I've got 2 kids that are insanely cool.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look back and I'm like, I was devastated.
Like you are a foundation or a building block to a better future.
Yeah,
I see that. I see that.
Yeah, my kids they're just great. And so, I wouldn't have had my kids if I hadn't been married. And, so it's everything happens for a reason. Sometimes it's.
That's what I say.
That's so good. Because
it's true,
but
though.
sometimes it's hard to accept in others, and that's what I love. The whole word that you said sums it up. It's purpose.
It's purpose.
It's
it's
purpose
saying
and
that
passion.
you are more than what you've done or did or said or showed.
Hey,
you are something that's going to create a better future for everyone
I have a
else.
question, Kristine. So I don't know how, obviously I don't sing, but, you guys do. So you have changed people's lives over the year, probably way more than you know. Or whether it's like them coming out, feeling comfortable. Mm-hmm. Do you ever hear from people saying like, you've changed my life or you have done this because of what you've done?
I do. It's really cool.
Really?
That is really cool. Like I've introduced people that got married
Yeah.
Hi, Brian.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
And they're third. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a good
I've
community.
introduced people that ended up in love. There's like 2 of them in my kitchen right now.
Hey, girls.
Ew, are they not here?
What are they making?
Their first date was at my table.
Oh, my God.
Spoiler alert.
I have a weird kind of cool gift there.
That's awesome. That's really sweet.
We have Elizabeth here from Betty. I would love for you to.
Actually, you asked the same question because I was going to say the same thing because we've circled around each other over the years, Betty and you, and different prides and things like that, and we've never got a chance to talk to each other. I think we've said hello maybe once. And
Hi.
hi,
She's
hey
drinking her
girl.
coffee. She's drinking her coffee.
Hey, girl.
Wait a minute. Let me switch. It's on the raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a truly double fist.
Yes.
And in the gay community, that means a lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of a sexy
That
phrase, man.
that was not even trashy. That was beautiful.
That was
That was
gorgeous. That was
beautiful.
Well
awesome.
done, well
Yeah.
done.
That-
I wanted to ask.
Yes, bitch.
What's in the
Screenshot.
coffee cup, go?
Yeah.
Tequila. I wanted to ask you, like, how you feel being a woman in this business. You know, we've been in it for a very long time, and do you feel like it's gotten better for you over the years? At first, you know, it's a little bit. I remember when we first started working, and you know, people wouldn't let us have a woman open for us, and we said no, we shut it down. But the record companies back in the day, they wouldn't let women open for other women, and it was we were pitted against each other much more, and I think there's much more of a togetherness now. I wanted to know if you felt that as well.
Oh, definitely. Like just, yeah, it was tough when I was at RCA. It was pretty rough time. They were trying to figure out what they were doing as a record label. And that was 2000, the year 2000, and it was it was super weird. That guys got away with doing a lot more weird stuff back then and saying inappropriate things and you know, running game, and you know, there was a lot of people on that label that I was on, which is RCA, which is a big one, that were troubled. You know, there was a lot of weird stuff going on.
There are a lot of drugs and stuff too, and
Drugs, you know.
yeah.
LA.
Wicker baskets, sweetie. Wicker baskets.
I don't need to name any names, but
Don't
you know,
name any names. Don't name it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, we all went through it. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and so it's gotten a lot better. I think that people talk about everything more, which is way better.
Yes.
That's making things so much better.
I think people are concerned more, and that's what's pushing.
And you're
people.
held accountable with social media, and on our.
And Oprah, thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
She really did. She changed.
Yeah, you're right.
She changed the ethics of America. She
really
really brought
did.
a lot of stuff up. I mean, you got to give it to her for that.
If you
'cause-
don't notice, our celebrity influencers actually form what government is trying. You know, the influencers, like these
Girl.
people, actually influence. I'm just saying they influence more than what
You're
people
so pretty.
say.
You're
Oh my
so
God!
pretty.
No, but we're
you don't
literally
have to
saying.
say- you don't have to say that.
Christine, you're not here in studio. We're actually seeing the generational shift of current topics.
I
which
was born in
love.
1993. I'm just gonna let that alone.
No,
so
that's good. That's good.
I think is
Kurt,
that I
shut
grew
his
up-
microphone and video off. Nothing before
I
1995.
grew up in a
just kidding.
different time. So when I see
No, but
people
I
like
respect
this-
it. I respect it. Listen,
No.
if we can't listen to younger people, then we're never going to learn
Exactly.
anything.
Like,
And this
every-
is what's happening. We're literally seeing all these different sides of what we're talking about.
The thing is that people look at me and they say, "Oh, you were born this time. You don't understand the struggle." But
Yeah.
every
think
day
that's
I go
true.
through a different struggle.
It's a totally
Every,
different
it's a
struggle.
different world. Yeah, you guys have had more of this and this and this, but I've also had this and this. We all struggle with things.
Everybody has
And at the
struggles.
end of the day,
Proportionate.
that we all have our own outlooks on things because of the time period we were born in or because of the position we were put in. And yeah,
And
my
because
things
of
may
where-
sound, oh
where
my
we were.
God,
Oh, yeah, location.
Where
that's
were
a
you
millennial. But at the end of the day, that millennial is the future
Where were you
for
born?
our... I was born in Florida.
Florida. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Well-
now you just came out though, right, hun?
I came out 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, the doors flew open and confetti.
You know what?
everywhere.
There was confetti in
There
the
was
red
a choir.
carpet, and they also had
There was a
Getty
choir.
Images taking a
was a
picture of
choir.
everything. There was Getty Images. They're like, oh,
Robin
he's
Leach
out.
narrated
Ooh,
it. Elton John
ooh.
played for it. It was a beautiful
But
ceremony.
the thing is, like, people don't take. Honestly, I'm gonna be like, I'm giving you 100
But,
cents
like,
real.
honestly, when did you know you were gay?
I realized 4 years ago I realized I was gay because I always been. I'm gonna be honest.
It just
I
didn't
was
taste
I
right.
was battered and trained into being straight.
Wait, it's
Hey, what's
Florida.
Oh, you know,
It's
okay,
Florida.
so
It's
that's
Florida.
it's.
I had
it's-
many girlfriends in high school
completely-
'cause I thought
I
that's what you
completely
should
see
do.
that with people.
But what I'm
Completely.
saying is that look,
I think everybody has their struggles.
Everyone's
Just
gonna
'cause you're
talk.
young.
They look at me and they say, "Okay, well, you didn't go through this, and you go through this." The thing is,
Who
this
says
is
that?
what I grew up on, and this is a lot of
Instagram.
people.
Yeah.
This is what I grew up on, and
Haters.
I literally have to deal with these problems as much as you guys had to deal with, segregation and like all this.
It
and
was a
they
little
hated on-
different, a little bit.
It was a little bit different, and I
You
agree
couldn't
it was
walk
a
down
lot
in that
harsher.
outfit in the street.
But the thing is, like, we all deal with our struggles, whether they seem harsh to one person or another, and it all takes a toll on
I
us.
think
And
your
at the end of
struggles
the
are very
day,
real.
we're all just
Absolutely.
coming together to love each other. And if we can be a community and love each other, that's all I'm asking.
And these are the conversations we
Yeah.
should be having in our community. Kristine W., I'm so excited. Friday, you are kicking off all of Pride stage on
Yay.
Arenas Road. And girl, you and I are going to be together, by the way, which means we're going to be partying behind together. Yes, I'm introducing you. Yes.
And I'm drinking with you.
Yes.
Clock, okay, 9 p.m. on Friday.
I'll give you a glass of wine and a mug for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
So that's at 9 p.m. Kristine is going to perform for us, but then right after, we're literally going to walk maybe 200 steps. We're going to Chill Bar for the official Palm
Yes.
Springs release party of new album and single.
Yay.
I'll
And
see
we're
you
going to
there.
party the
Yay.
night away.
Congratulations.
For the remixes.
Yay.
Yes. Kristine Delbert, really fast before you have to go, I'm going to do rapid fire.
Okay.
Queen of Dance, what's your least favorite dance move that you've had to do?
My least favorite dance move?
Yeah, that you've had to do on stage. You're like, okay, I'll do it, but I don't.
Oh my goodness, yeah, in Vegas we did the Running Man.
I love it. Your celebrity crush.
Gerard Butler. I think he's hot.
Ew.
Butler, what?
No, Kristine. No. No. Your fans are like, wait, what?
Let her have
Football,
it.
I'm liking him.
Let her have it.
Okay.
Let her
Okay,
have
you
it.
know you
Okay.
got. Like
We don't
I said,
judge.
we
We
can't
judge
judge.
you.
We
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
judge. We
yeah,
can't
yeah.
judge.
Kristine, funniest onstage mishap.
Ooh, when I was doing a head roll with my dancers and my wig flew off. And the people were like, they were from like, you could tell they were like from, I don't know, someplace where they'd never seen too much.
She might have invented that because I see drag queens do that all the time now.
Like, like hot potato, like
I love that.
I'm proud.
Yeah.
That was a crazy moment.
I would have lived for that moment.
Kristine, you're after performing Ritual. You performed, they've driven you home, and you do what? Like, what's the first thing that you do when you walk in the door and you're done performing?
Make
Eat.
sure that I didn't leave my saxophone,
What?
parts to my saxophone.
I wish I could say that.
Like my mouthpiece or the neck of my horn, like I go through and I make sure that all the pieces to my saxophone are there because that saxophone is like, I don't know, it's been with me for a lot, like 20 years. And
That's
it's
so
just-
random.
And there's so
Awesome.
many entendres that I could have said, but you
yeah.
did them all
I'm
for
still
me.
Phone Keys Wallet.
Yeah.
To this day, Phone Keys Wallet. to
Kristine
this day.
W., where can our viewers and listeners find you?
Well, KristineW.com, and you can go to iTunes. Love and Lies is you can listen to the you can pre-order the Love and Lies EP right now, and also you can download Love and Lies, the album version right now. And then very shortly we're going to have the remixes, and we've got remixers coming from Country Club Martini Crew, Otto Benson, Tony Moran, Q, he's amazing in San Francisco, and Phil Wells out of Amsterdam. And the whole, I was really blessed. I got to work with some really amazing people from all over the world on this new project. So it's cool music. So yay.
Yes.
Oh, Kristine, and that's Kristine, Kristine, in case you were wondering. Also, Kristine, we're going to play just a sneak peek at Just a Lie, because you guys need to download it. You need to do that. Kristine, I'm going to see you Friday. What time are you getting to Palm Springs, by the way?
What time will I get where, honey?
To Palm Springs on Friday.
Well, I might be there on Thursday because we're actually shooting some footage for the music video, the official music video. So during Friday, we're going to be doing that. We might be doing some green screen stuff on Thursday. So I may be there Thursday.
Was that one of the gays in your kitchen?
That is! Danny,
I love gays. Can we see one gay, please? So I can relate.
Can we just see one of your gays?
I need a gay. Can I get a gay man?
He made a lot of noise. He obviously wants to be part of the show.
Can I get a gay man? He obviously did that.
Here we go.
Hey! Yes, girl.
Right?
That was hot. It was like Wizard of Oz. Everybody's looking for something. Kristine, we're gonna see you on
I need
Friday.
more than a heart.
I love you, girl, and we're gonna lison to a little bit of your latest single.
I love you guys too.
Just a life.
Bye.
Bye, girl.
See you tonight. This is so fun.
We're gonna use that as a clip. Okay, we're gonna play that. So we're gonna run over. Is that okay?
That's fine.
I think we did it, right? How do you listen to him just alive? How do you listen? They're probably adding.
You took my heart with you, everything, body and soul. My soul. I used to be so sure of me, but lately I don't know. Oh no. 'Cause I just can't find the good in this goodbye. It's so long, it's been so wrong, I'm lost now and trying so I just can't find the good in this goodbye. This so long's been so wrong, I'm lost now, but I can't seem to try. Can't seem to try.
Got it at times.
And we are back, girl. And we just took some cast pictures. All right, Michael Paul.
Yes.
So I had to talk. Huge success with LE Party, setting the bar high in San Diego and Las Vegas. Now making your debut in Palm Springs as Pride.
Yeah.
As a business owner, as a creator, as a gay man, there are so many events in town for Pride. Isn't it a little scary venturing into a whole new market, especially during Pride?
You know, here's the thing. Well, I have one of those things where it's like we gear our stuff towards the LGBT of house music and electronic music. You know, a lot of parties in the gay world have always been circuit musics, you know, clacking the fan. And what we found is there's a lot of gay people that go to straight clubs. It's kind of like you go to these nightclubs and you see tons of bachelorette parties. They all go, especially at several clubs that I've been to recently. And what's interesting is what I've talked to so many people over the years is we're like, oh yeah, we're going to this club. And I'm like, well, that's a straight club. Well, yeah, but we go there now. So it's like straight clubs are just, you know, not really straight clubs anymore. They're all clubs. And then it's kind of like gay clubs are now kind of all clubs, even though they call it a gay club. So what we've wanted to do is do something just a little bit different, kind of mesh the worlds together where everyone's welcome. LE Parties, LE stands for Love Everyone. That's what it stands for.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because people
I
have
thought
asked
they
me,
meant
what
LA
is LE Party?
something.
Yeah.
LA Entertainment is what I assumed it went
They'll
for.
say like, oh, it's Les Parties, not like a
Les
French.
Parties.
Yes.
No, it's Love Everyone Parties. It's a party for everyone, and obviously we gear ours towards dance, house, and electronic music, and which is what our huge Vegas event is about. But this year, we're coming to Palm Springs. I was there last year, and I felt that it was a complete fit for.
You didn't even say hello last year, by the way.
Well, we didn't know each other last
That was
year.
a choice. That was a choice. He
That was a
chose
choice.
that.
How dare you?
It was 300 feet away on Grindr.
I
He was
hit
like,
block.
next. Thank you. Next.
I was like, are you into pinatas?
Send nudes.
Weird, because I got a hello.
Oh, it was
that
a
true?
doppelganger.
No,
Doppelganger. But anyways, no, yeah. So we're coming to Palm Springs, and I'm doing a pool fest, which is 4 days. I totally get that there's several nightclubs, several pool parties, several nighttime events. And people do jump around and go to all of them.
But you get one pass, and you're there for
well, that's
whenever
my
you want
thing.
to
And
drop
my
in.
one pass is the price of one pool party, $30, and you come to all 4
And it's
parties.
next to
Well,
all
I've
the
been to
action.
LA parties in San Diego, and you guys go all out.
Yeah.
We do, and so
You go all
we're
out.
going all out in Palm Springs,
Which is weird to see because, like, honestly, as much as people are like, oh my God, we love going to Palm Springs, the thing is that Palm Springs isn't really like on the map.
It's kind of a getaway. It's like on the other side of the mountain.
It's kind of like I want to go get a rich daddy. Should I go over there?
No. No. And this is one of the statements I've made
Don't
about.
talk to my rich daddies.
No. This is one of the statements I made about Palm Springs. Palm Springs is very special to me. One of the reasons I've been chosen as Media Grand Marshal, I have spent every summer in Palm Springs from 3rd grade through college, and now I've done a lot of events there. Palm Springs was the mecca for classic Hollywood, the Charlie Chaplins, the Lucille Balls,
Your getaway.
the Mary
Your
Pickford,
getaway.
as to get away. And that community has thrived, and it's become so welcoming.
Well, last year was my first year at Palm Springs Pride.
It has a different energy, right?
And I literally was looking on when you were talking about earlier how you were there and on the street and with you saw your family.
It was my first Pride Parade. This was about 4 years ago. It was with the West Hollywood cheerleaders, and I was like, it was so weird.
It's weird, but in a good way,
Yeah.
right? So I'm sitting there and we're walking around and we went to a bunch of parties and had fun and had a great time. And I'm not one of those people that just, to stick my nose in just to be there. I felt like it could be a place because I think it's growing. Look at it. It's getting bigger and bigger and more massive every year.
Well, the thing about Palm Springs is I've noticed. I honestly moved here 2 years ago, and I honestly have noticed I've been traveling to Palm Springs, in and out, back and forth for different events. I've realized that when you go there, you don't feel like it's an event. You don't feel like you're pressured to do anything.
You're hanging out.
You feel like you're just hanging out, having a good time. And that's one of the best things ever because when you go to anything in LA, it's like, oh my God, you have to dress to this, to this, to this. You have to impress these people, these people. When you go to Palm Springs Pride, it's a group of people who just love just like interacting with people and love being around.
And the minute you
positive
drive in,
people.
when you see Welcome to Palm Springs, something happens with the energy. People drive slower, and you're okay with it.
right.
okay. It's
I
energy.
definitely slow down to 35 and to 65.
You enjoy yourself there.
Yeah.
That's a moment of that you get into Palm Springs, you said that Welcome to Palm Springs, you go.
And you can
Because you
literally
can
sit and have a
breathe.
conversation or party or do whatever it is that you do, fetish-wise or else. I got this email from a few people because, I've been advertising Pool Fest.
Yeah.
Because On the Rocks will be there Friday. And then we're doing the hangover party. That's my name for it, but it's not. It's
On
called
Monday?
Recovery.
If you guys want to come over to
Yeah,
my
so
apartment,
our-
that's what we call it every
really?
Saturday.
No,
yeah,
but,
for
but,
sure.
but I love the idea of the recovery. It's for all the staff that has
Well,
worked.
so this is really interesting, and this is why in San Diego we started an industry party Monday of you guys work, and I mean you guys, gals, everyone that
Bouncers.
work, whether you're straight or gay, it doesn't matter. You work like Thursday with Halloween, right? So you're working like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then my Monday's like a day off. It's like, oh, well, no, there's no pool party there anymore, or there's no. It's like, look, we have one for you. In fact, we sent out 200 personally. We went door to door to businesses, LGBT or otherwise, and gave them a letter with a stack of flyers that says, we would like to invite every single one of your staff members for free on Monday to the industry party.
Can I ask you a question actually about that? Because I actually always wondered, because I'm not a promoter, obviously.
Yeah.
But I always wondered, like, how do you decide, LA is very different from every other scene. We pride ourselves on not having jobs during the week. We pride, we don't.
Well,
How do
everyone
you
does. They
choose
just
that?
gotta say
has
they
a
do.
job.
How
They're all
do you
waitresses
say
and
that? But
waiters.
how do you go like, I'm gonna have a party on Tuesday, and like, how confident are you with that? How secure with that? Are you on edge? You're like, okay, I'm gonna throw a party on Tuesday because people
No,
say in
no,
LA
no,
it
no.
is? Or are you like, I know the facts here, the money's here. Tuesday will be a bopping ass.
I mean,
moment
I've been
time.
doing this for almost 20 years now. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. So it's one of those things where I'm confident in our brand. Our brand has been around now almost 7 years coming
has
up.
a
And we
unique
have
brand.
changed hotels just to grow because the hotel we were at previously was too small. We're at a bigger one. Hopefully,
I've seen
we're
that. I've
growing
seen that
again.
because I'm extremely
San
gay.
Diego
and I see
Pride
that.
Brunch had
Yeah.
some of the top RuPaul drag queens. It was one of the best shows.
Yeah,
I've
during the
ever
brunch.
seen.
Yeah, oh my
Never
God,
had
it was
so
much
many
fun.
gays spit on me at one time. I'm sorry. And that's a good
Oh my
thing.
God.
That's a good thing.
Where are we going with this?
No. So
Wherever you want to.
So, but some because there's all these hashtags. The emails I got. What does EDM mean? What does house music mean? And how does that set Pool Fest aside from some of the
Okay,
other
so
things?
EDM is electronic dance music, right? It's not just a band, I guess you could say. House music, it's hard to pigeonhole it because it's like electro house and house music is music, let's just say. But there is segmented like tech house. So we consider ours house and electro, which is a funky beat, good vibes, a vocals thrown in every now and then.
But you DJ also, right?
Yeah, and
And
that's
you
kinda
also
how I
a promoter.
started.
You're a DJ and a promoter, right?
Well, yeah, because I've lived both worlds. So, like, as being
business owner,
DJ,
too, on top
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
But I want to know. Okay. You being as on the DJ side, I want to know this. I want to know. Tell me about your family history because we've heard family history from many artists, and DJ is an artist.
Yeah.
So I want to know. Have your family influenced who you are today?
Well, first off, my family will say that I've influenced them.
Yeah.
Literally, like I have been
like
since
that.
I was
I wish
young.
I was-
Get this, I produced shows at my grandmother's house downstairs, where I gave them poker chips, where they had to have a ticket to come. I'm like 6 years old.
Michael, every successful
Tickets.
celebrity that has been on the show has started doing shows for their family.
Yeah.
And I'm talking Academy Award winners. Like it's a running theme with.
It's crazy, and it's like I mean
I didn't know that.
So I'll tell you a funny story. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's this one time where we're outside of my grandparents. It's always my grandparents. You go with a big family, everyone's there.
I
right?
love that. I love
Right?
that for you guys.
So we remember those folding chairs that were like the front folds one way and then the back folds, and then you have to kind of do it the other way to like.
Sounds like too
front
much
and back.
work.
It's called a lounge
Yeah.
chair.
Well,
It's
anyways,
called a lounge
I
chair.
turned it sideways in the driveway. I got the radio, put a song on, and we rehearsed the show. Now, this was radio. Not thinking that song will not be played
Yeah.
at showtime.
So you had to adjust.
So all of a sudden, we're like, it's showtime, and then we turn the radio on, and it's not the song that, it's live radio. So we're like, do our moves, choreography. This is like, we're like 6 years old, 7 years old doing this. And so being a performer and producing and entertainment has just always run in my life. I don't know really where I got it from.
I love
because
that story though.
no one in my family is
You like control.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like, go ahead.
My name's on the sign, so.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I just want to know. I have some small
My name's
questions.
on the
I'll
door.
ask him behind curtains. It's cool.
Okay. There are real DJs and then there are DJs.
Well,
And
okay.
we know.
That's
Wait,
my
no.
question. That was my question.
This is a loaded question.
That was my
I
question.
haven't even asked the question.
Can I say the question though?
No. When booking your talent, because I know Pool Fest has some of the top DJs that are coming out.
Yeah,
To fit the theme.
14 DJs over the weekend.
What do you look for most when you book a DJ? What makes a real?
You know what's interesting when we talked about tonight, like why do they do what they do? Artists in general. And I've been on the show before,
Yeah.
and there's always like a recurring.
Every show's different though, right?
I know, but yes, but there's always a recurring thing when it comes down to music. When you have an artist on, and they like what they do, and then there are ones that you see that they're just trying to fill that cookie cutter mold.
Yeah.
And I book people who like what they do because it basically, when they perform, it shows. And our DJs spend 2-hour sets. So when you see them perform, they bring their A game, they bring their best stuff. They're living in the moment, and
It's their purpose.
crowd feeds off of it. And that's why I think we've been successful.
My question was, how do you pick between a hired DJ that's amazing and a shirtless DJ that's amazing?
Well, okay, so here's the thing with the shirtless. Let me just cover that. So
yeah, let's actually.
this
cover
is
that.
this is a total.
Because I have a lot of I've been around the scene of GPS and all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
parties. I've been to
We're
many
not naming
other
other
parties.
names, by the way.
No, I've been to parties as
Nick,
Martin.
like you take pictures with your shirt off, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
constantly.
Constant, but
I don't even have a picture with my shirt on, honestly.
But do you think that by doing that helps you
progress. Yes, it does.
So there are DJs that do that.
Yeah.
I am one of them. I took a picture where I was
Well, if you have a good body, do it.
I was completely.
What if you're a great DJ and don't have a good body?
Well, but this is the
Then
thing.
you just take the photo.
This is the thing, though.
Your music will speak
I
for
took
yourself.
a picture years ago where I was completely nude, but in underwear.
Nude?
But I had a turntable, a CDJ in front of like my crotch.
Then do it.
And I thought, I was told that's what you need to do to get popular. And I was literally like, okay, so I have to like work out a lot and I have to like take a nude photo and be shirtless. And all of a sudden I'm like, do you guys even hear what I'm playing? Do you even hear what I'm listening?
I know 27 DJs.
Wait a
Three
minute.
of them
Wait
are
a minute.
hot.
Wait a minute. I love that you just said that because that's the statement.
Well, but it took me, I didn't realize at the time because I was sort of being molded by people who wanted to mold me. And it was like, it didn't work. It's like I wasn't playing right music. I was doing what I was told. And I kind of went away for a little bit and then I kind of came back and did my own thing. And since then, like, I DJ when I want to DJ because it's fun.
Yeah.
Not because I have to do it, which is somewhat of a luxury for some
Purpose or
people.
passion.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying is that like I know like about around 27 DJs, and 3 of them are the ones that really publicize their body and everything like that. And
you know what? Hey, if you're hot, flaunt it.
They're
okay,
good DJs.
right?
What I'm saying is that like literally, out the whole thing, the whole series, the whole moment we've had today is that it's based upon talent and music and emotion. And if you can hit those emotions in people, then it doesn't matter what you.
I get it.
We have to talk about. We have to wrap up the show, but we have to talk about one thing. So, doing an event in public eye. You're doing an event at Hotel Zozo, which is right there on the main strip. It's not on the gay strip.
It's right next to Arenas Boulevard.
Your signs were torn down for Pull Fest.
So here's the thing. So this morning, we were contacted by the hotel that some vandal basically got on the roof in 2 different areas, and these you have to scale, like climb. It's like
Hotel
3 stories
Zozo
up. And these banners have wood frames built around them, so they're not light. And they basically cut them down and went crashing to the ground. So we had to file a police report today. ABC or NBC and CBS came out and did interviews. And it's like, it makes me think like, we're just doing pool parties. We're also donating money to the Desert AIDS Project. You know, this is not my primary career. As you know, because I do hypnosis. Something we'll do another time.
We need to do it now.
But this
I
is.
need that.
I think you need.
You are already.
Some actual relationships. I need that.
Right now.
I
It's
need
either
that.
intervention
Okay.
or hypnosis.
Slip into my DMs, please.
But anyway, so the signs are back up. It's just crazy to me to think that it's like, what are we doing here in this world? We're all trying to make it. We're all trying to have a good time. And we all have to play nice in the sandbox because I think that's so important. I think that will make people
I
better.
have actually
if
a
we do that.
professional question. Can I ask it real fast?
Is it professional though?
It's very fast. Hey, no. My professional question is honestly, okay. So you are LED parties.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I've
LE
seen-
parties.
LED
but
parties. I'm sorry. And
You guys,
know,
we actually do have to finish up.
But I have to know real fast. I would say
Real
whenever you have a
fast.
competing brand, whenever someone's like you're in San Diego and you have an LE party and you have a competing party.
We actually
going on.
have to finish this up. I'm so sorry.
Okay, you're fine.
No, I'm so sorry because I'll get in trouble by the networks.
I'll ask him later.
Okay, coming up, we have singer-songwriter Lisa Loeb is coming to visit. We have hot veterinarian turned Animal Planet Instagram star Dr. Evan Anton from, an 8-time Academy, you know him?
You got it.
Yeah, and 8-time Academy Award nominee makeup special effects V. Neal is coming in,
Wow.
who talks about Star Trek, Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Mrs. Doubtfire, Hunger Games, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
I love that.
It's on
But
my
we're going to end the
playlist.
show doing rapid fire. Who wants to go first?
You go first.
I'll go.
Michael Paul, one song you don't need to hear played at a club again.
Oh gosh. YMCA because they still trust me.
I've never heard that.
I
I've
have
never-
been
7 years I've heard that.
I have been in West Hollywood in the last 2 months, and
YMCA.
all of a sudden it came on, and I about fell on the floor, and I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
"Wow, are we at a wedding right now?" Anyways,
right.
it's true.
You play until 4 a.m. What do you do when you first get home?
Me 4 a.m. Oh, you know what I do? I actually sit sit down on the couch and turn on like CNN. Yeah,
That's
I do.
too depressing.
No, CNN.
I watched Judge Judy.
No, it's just kind
I
of like
literally
what
did.
happens in the world because it just kind of makes me like not think about my night or my day or whatever.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, CNN.
Do your thing.
Creating a pool party for sci-fi fans. What's it called?
Ooh, Deepness.
Oh. Guilty pleasure.
Deepness. That is a
I
double.
would call it Prometheus.
What did you say? Sorry, what was the question?
Michael Paul, yeah.
What is the question?
Deep in us. Okay. Guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Because you're a great business person, you're a great
A guilty pleasure.
promoter, but you're very like structured too. Like, what's
Talk about.
No, I would say just a trip, going somewhere, a trip that's just like something so out of grasp that would be, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Michael Paul, where can people find LE parties and how can we get a ticket this weekend?
You can just go to leparties.com or pridepoolfest.com.
I love it. Are you ready, Nick?
Oh, no, I'm not at all.
It's rapid. It's rapid.
Oh, no, I love
have to wrap
rapid
it up.
tests because they're the fastest ones.
Least
Go ahead.
favorite part about getting ready for a photo shoot?
Least favorite part is about whatever I ate the day before. I hate that.
Finish the statement. I wouldn't be able to date Zac Efron if he...
Painted his toenails.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of people who
You're a fan of
guys
me
who put his
Okay,
fingernails
okay,
up
okay.
toenails. I'm not into it.
Either.
How long does it take for you to get ready in the morning? Be honest.
At least a 45-minute moment.
Talent, hobby, habit that we would be surprised to find out that you have.
Wait, what? A talent? Oh,
Or a
no,
habit.
a talent that I'm surprised to have. Honestly, I can force myself to burp anything.
We're not going to hear that
Wow.
tonight, but we're no.
Hashtag no gag reflex.
We're
At Nick Masc on Instagram or Nick Mascardo on Facebook.
You guys, we're going to see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
Ew.
This has been On the Rocks with Alexander every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network. Find me on Facebook on the Rocks Radio Show. Tweet me or Instagram me at On the Rocks On Air. See you next Tuesday.